Launch Director NTD, our launch team is ready to proceed at this time.
Yeah, welcome back. Episode 58 of the Journeyman Chronicles. We are ready. I am ready. Are you ready? Are you ready to do some yard work? Because spring is here. Spring is here. Right now my fireplace is on, but spring is here. And that's the confusing part of the season. And I'm sweating, but I'm cold. If that makes any sense. Anyway, I haven't started my yard work yet. I should. I got to get the lawnmower ready. I got to, do shit with the grass. I got to cut down stuff. Got to get ready to start grilling again. Stuff like that. I'm fortunate enough and blessed enough to have a pool. Got to open that shit up. And I do that all on my own with the help of my brother-in-law because I am not paying for somebody to do it. I YouTubed how to do it so I can do it. And that's my motto. Do for self. Anyway, yes, episode 58. This week we are talking with Jasmine Taylor, who also goes by Pan, all capitals, and I'm gonna explain why. Because she just likes the way that shit looks, and you know what? I like that. My stage name when I would rap was Flex, and I spelled it P-H-L-E-K-S, all capitals except the E, and I didn't know why. I just liked the way it looked, so I get it. Look, Pan is an artist. Spoken word poet. She raps. She does a lot of singing, but this is deep shit that she's doing. She's not just, she's not doing jingles. And we also get into a lot of other stuff like mental health. We get into her experience with being pregnant and also in a mental health unit. And so what she's doing now is a direct reflection of how she wants to heal from that experience one way or another. And I started following her on social media. That's how I got hip to her. And I'm glad I did because when I reached out to her, she was genuinely authentic in her response. Like she wanted to talk to me on the phone to make sure that, everything was on the up and up, so to speak. And to find out if what I'm doing is legit. Like, I don't blame her. It's not very often that I have to go through a screening process with my guests. It's happened probably once before. I met somebody in person. And I don't mind it. I probably should offer to do that, but I've just never really have had any type of flack or pushback. But nonetheless, I have no problem speaking or meeting up with somebody. And I spoke with Jasmine on the phone. We talked for, maybe about 10 minutes. And she was okay then to do the podcast. And she came over. Great conversation. And so here we are. Episode 58 with Jasmine Taylor. I hope you enjoy this. And I hope you're enjoying the JMC experience, the journey in itself. Because as much as there's a lot of laughs and good times, it's an opportunity for you to meet new people, learn new things, maybe start learning some things about yourself. Self-reflection. That's what I love doing. I love meeting new people and learning things, and I can take a step back and be like, damn, man, like there's nothing really wrong with me. I think along those lines too. Or actually, damn, I really never thought about things like that. I should probably open my horizon, open my mind up a little bit. You know what I mean? Anyway, I try to keep these opening monologues short because I want people to enjoy the interview. But I am the journeyman and I am the host. And this is my brand. Anyway. Let's get right to it. This is episode 58, Jasmine Taylor, coming right at you on the Journeyman Chronicles. Taylor, thank you for joining me.
Of course.
This is, like I said, it's all new to me, so the video editing is going to be different because I'm not going to be able to. I want to keep as much as I can in the video, which means I won't be able to edit out as much as I'm used to with the audio.
Oh, okay.
Before it was just an audio, so it was a lot of easy editing. So it's challenging me now. It's like now I really need to make sure I don't. Sometimes I would like stumble on my words, or I would not have questions. Not have questions. I don't mean for you to be nervous. I meant for me, it was like the host is supposed to be somewhat prepared to guide the show, and there's times where I'm like, oh man, fuck, I forgot my question, and I would edit that out. So now it's like I gotta make sure it's not live. But still, nonetheless.
Yeah, I ain't ready for live.
Nonetheless.
I'm not. I ain't even gonna lie.
I tried doing live once, and it was like, maybe I'll get there.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
It is
perfect.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
I mean, with what you're doing, and obviously I want to get into that, but with what you're doing, I'm sure. Have you done anything live? Do you perform live? Is that something that you're comfortable with?
Yeah. Well, I like performing on stage. Like I like the energy I get on stage from people when they hear me. I feel like it's different than interviews.
Okay, yeah.
I actually have to, talk
you're in control of your creativity, I guess, your element.
Right. Yeah, when I'm on stage, I don't even like to talk. A lot of people talk and give intros. I'll just start singing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I got hip to you through Instagram.
Okay.
I thought it was Facebook, but as I was thinking, I was like, no, it was definitely Instagram. And I'm grateful because, and I think I mentioned this to you when we were on the phone, that this season I was really just all of a sudden really gravitating and getting to know a lot of spoken word artists and creatives. And I feel like the algorithm kind of threw what you were doing in there because I was searching a lot of that. And so when I found out you were local, I was just like, yo, this is dope because you're doing a lot of dope shit.
Thank you.
And I know one of the things I appreciate is it's a very authentic take on your work. And you pride yourself in that. And that's just in the small window that I'm looking at. So when you were down to do the interview, I was like, word, because obviously I really would like to get to know not only what you're doing, but like, how did you get to where you are? Are you from Lancaster? Are you from this area or no?
I'm from York.
You're from York. Okay. So you're familiar with central Pennsylvania, so to speak. Yeah.
Yep. Born and raised.
Yeah. Yeah. How's York?
It's York. It's it's just like Lancaster.
Yeah.
There's parts like this. Yeah. And then there's the hood.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like just like everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I love I got friends in I don't got a family in York, but I got friends in York. One of the things that I love about York is it does remind me of Lancaster. There's times where I've gone in there because I'm from Lancaster. Okay. I live in Landisville now, but I'm born and raised in Lanc. And so there's times where, and I'll probably get that in anywhere that I go, but for whatever reason, York is like, I feel like I'm driving in Lanc. So I've always felt comfortable in there. The artist in you, not only are you doing poetry and spoken word, but you're also singing. I mean, you also are performing. You're an artist. So what do you like? What's your bag? Are you more so on the artist, the performing, or are you more so poetry, or does it matter?
Well, I would say I'm more on the writing side. I was always a writer. That's where it started. In elementary school, I started, having a journal. Okay. And that was kind of like my outlet for everything. So it started with poetry, just personal stuff, Yeah. And when I was in high school, I took a creative writing class. And my teacher was just blown away,
Wow.
And she convinced me to major in creative writing in college.
What were you writing about that caught her attention? Were you a deep thinker with your words? Thoughts were deep or no?
I I didn't feel like it at
Yeah.
the time. You know?
Yeah.
The older I get, I'm just kind of like, okay, I guess not everybody thinks like that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
know what you mean.
it's just normal for me.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I was like the same way when I was a kid.
yeah.
I thought of things on a different level. It wasn't like I felt like I was better. And there were times where like there were kids that were like in a gifted class. They called it GAT. And I wasn't able to get in that. So I was like, oh, I must not be that gifted.
Right.
But there were times where I was like, I really think about shit that nobody else really. But why are you worried about that? And I'm like, yeah, but don't you think about, like, I was always that type of person. So I kind of get that vibe from you where you notice that as you got older. So when you were younger, you didn't realize the way you wanted to interact with your life, the words you were using to describe your thoughts in your journals, that didn't stand out to you at a young age. It wasn't until you were older.
Right. Yeah. No, I was not interested in performing at all the way through college. I was just, thinking I was going to be an author, just write books or, stuff like the screenplays or whatever. But I didn't even think about performing until like 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you singing before 2 years ago? Like,
I did like talent shows and I was in the choir. So
it was
that's
there.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was it then that put you on this journey of what you did? Because what I'm seeing, what you're posting is like, this is what I am. This is what I'm doing.
Right.
You are singing. You are writing. You're vocalizing your joy and your pain through words, through harmony. That doesn't sound like something you just started 2 years ago. It seems like you've been doing it, but no, you're saying that's not the case.
Yeah, not. Man, I really don't know. I really don't know. I started writing again like 2020, when the world ended. Yeah, I stopped for a long time, like pretty much right after high school. When I went to college, it was bad. I was bad in college.
Who wasn't?
Yeah, it was bad. But right after I was 6 months pregnant when I graduated college.
Gotcha.
Got married, moved in with my husband, had my daughter, and got pregnant again right after that. I was in the mental health unit. That's where I was pregnant in the mental health unit with my second daughter. I was on suicide watch.
Gotcha.
And on a whole bunch of different medications, seeing all these psychiatrists and a whole bunch of stuff. And I got back into writing. That's when I got back into writing in the mental health unit.
Okay.
And I started writing poetry, and I wrote my first song in there.
Well, in the mental health unit.
Yeah. Well, and when I got out, I was, I felt like that's what was the one thing that was just for me. That the one thing I had to find something that was gonna keep me here, that was outside of anything and everybody else.
You felt like that was grounding you and saving you.
Right. Yeah. It was what I needed to find that again so I could find purpose, just within me, and that wasn't connected to anything else, like my kids, of course,
Yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So when I got out, I was just like, okay, I'm not going back. And I made a lot of lifestyle changes, and I was writing a lot. I wrote something that came out like a rap, and I was like, oh, I guess I rap now.
Yeah, because you're also rapping too, and it's dope. It's not like oh wow, she sings and now she's trying to rap. I genuinely felt like you've been doing. Yeah, I mean I enjoy listening to it.
Yeah.
When you brought up the mental health unit, and are you okay with talking about that or no? Okay, so how did this come about? Because you quickly mentioned that you were pregnant while you were in the mental health unit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it was about 3-4 months after I had my first daughter is when I started going, like, I was just like, okay, something wrong. And I went into the mental health unit the first time for a week. I got out and found out I was pregnant again. And I was still having problems, and they wanted me to go back into the hospital, and they kept me there for a month while I was pregnant with my second daughter, and had me on medication the whole time I was pregnant.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And that was on, I mean, you're on medication for what, do you mind me asking, what exactly were you experiencing?
Yeah. Depression and anxiety is where I was diagnosed with a whole bunch of different, it just kept changing. You know how it goes. So I don't really like the labels, but that's what they said, you know.
Yeah.
I think the last thing I was diagnosed with was bipolar depression, major depressive disorder, and anxiety. And I was suicidal. So that was what they were really worried about, that I would.
They knew you were pregnant?
Mm-hmm.
So was there concern on your part about the medication you were taking while being pregnant, or?
They said it was the safest.
It was the safest
one to take while pregnant.
It's something I never really thought about, and I had a brief experience in a mental health unit. I don't know if that's what it was called, but I had a moment in my life, and I was going to attempt suicide, but I knew I wasn't going to, but I was like on the brink of it.
Okay.
You know, long story short.
Yeah.
And I was actually in the middle of my divorce, and it was like one of those like come to Jesus moments where it was like I kind of just put myself in a position where I'm not trusted with my children now. Mm-hmm. So I agreed, like, I'll go get help. But at that moment, I went to Lancaster General, and I remember I had that brief moment. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because I can understand, like, I don't, and if, correct me if I'm wrong, but like I didn't have control of a lot of things in that moment. And so as a woman who's pregnant and you're being told this is the safest medication, it's I'm assuming out of your hands at that point. I mean, where you couldn't have checked yourself out. You were in there, they had you. I mean, how does that work?
Yeah. Well, you have to sign a paper for 72 hours, but once you're in there, and they can keep you as long as they want, as long as they think you're not fit to leave.
Gotcha.
So they were just, worried, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I was being very honest with them. Yeah. I was scared.
But that's a good thing that you were being honest.
Yeah. I do regret a lot. I just wish I knew the things I know now.
Sure.
And I would have, done a more natural, way. But
you mean what do you mean do it natural in regards to
just
how you handled whatever you were dealing with, or what you're finding help, or
right? Yeah. Well, I don't take medication now. I
got you. Okay.
Once I got out the hospital, I wanted to figure out a way to get off medication and try to heal naturally. So I started changing my diet, and just once I started on that, just changing my diet, I went down the rabbit hole, and this
okay.
And that's why I said I made a lot of lifestyle changes. Yeah, so that's what I mean more. I wish my lifestyle was like it is now back then.
Gotcha.
I would have did a lot of things differently, but I mean, of course, I believe everything happens for a reason.
But it does. I don't think you don't have the information.
Yeah.
You didn't have the information then that you have now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess the recognizing that there's something that needs to be addressed and you wanting to address it more naturally, speaks volumes because you were still addressing it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It wasn't like you kind of just like swept it under the rug, like it is what it is.
Yeah.
And you have 2 children, 2 girls, forgive me.
Yes.
So you obviously took it upon yourself, which is a dope thing. That's pretty damn cool.
Thanks.
And I say that like genuinely because I had to get my shit together, and I did. So I understand like that it's time to figure this out.
Yeah.
So I commend you. The writing and the performing and that is what that transpired from this experience, is what you're telling me. That so your music and your content and what you're discussing is very deep.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it's going to consistently be? Is that how, do you listen to all kind of music, but when it comes to your shit, you're like, this is where I'm at? Or do you just zone out, listen to what, you know what I mean? Like, cause there's a lot of people that can listen to what's in the club, but then when it comes to their shit,
right,
it's different.
Yeah. So I actually do have a lot of songs that are like, more turn up songs.
Okay, there you go.
But I just didn't put it out there because I kind of go with how I feel and where I'm at in the moment.
Okay.
And I'm kind of growing with my music. I feel like whatever I put out is what it is right now, and I'm just at this healing. I'm at this deep healing stage right now, and I don't feel like I can get on stage and be hyped.
Yeah.
And be, and do those turn up songs. Like it comes out because I do, like, I like it, you know, I like that music, and I'm a writer, so I can write it, you know. But for me to actually get on stage and be that I'm just not there yet.
Yeah. Do you think are you open to it one day, or is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I feel like it's coming, I still feel like I have a while yet to go though.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Can we talk about your name, Pan?
Yes.
Where does that come from? Because I wasn't sure how to address you, and then I figured I'll say Jasmine because it says it on social media. But do you go by Pan? Do you go by Jasmine? Yeah.
Both. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I say Pan is my stage name, so but I am, I'm also, business,
Gotcha.
It is what it is. But Pan, I was struggling to find a stage name, and I was doing I had a whole list, like doing all this research, and I started getting into prefixes and suffixes, and I was looking up the meanings to them, and I came across Pan.
Yeah.
And it's for all, like pandemic. It affects all of us, Yeah, so that one really stuck because I just felt like that's kind of like wrapped up my whole thing,
Gotcha.
Kind of wrapped up everything that I'm trying to portray as an artist,
Gotcha.
Trying to connect people.
Yeah.
Everyone. I feel like everybody can be connected in some way.
Especially through music.
Right. Yeah. And there's so many different aspects to it. Like, Peter Pan. I love the story of Peter Pan, and
that's the first thing I thought of was Peter Pan. I wasn't sure if it was a play on that at all.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because just the way we created adults to be,
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous at this point. And I just feel like we could learn a lot from kids, for real. So that's a big part of who I am. Also, there's a Greek god named Pan, and it's the god of nature and music.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
I actually found out after I decided on Pan.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
So that's pretty coincidental in a way that
it was very big confirmation for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, at that point I fell in love with the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's when you put your music out or when you're performing, that is the name you go by. You don't go by Jasmine Pan Taylor or
Yeah, just Pan.
Just Pan.
And I like all caps too.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just think it looked better.
I like it. I'm a big. I like names. How do I say this? I love the story or the meaning behind a name. I'm not a big fan when people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna name, I love this jewelry, so I'm gonna name my kid Gold or So Pan or unique names that have like a meaning.
Yeah.
I love learning things like that because so usually they're passed down by generations or there's folklore, if you want to call it that, or like you just discovered like the Greek god, like that's a rabbit hole that you could probably like just dissecting the name Pan. Do you get deep when we go? This goes back to thinking deeply, and as a young child, you probably did that a lot. When it comes to things like that, you're putting thought into obviously your name, but like, do you like going deep into everything that you do and things that you learn in life? Because I get that vibe that you are very like, I want more information. I'm not a surface person.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying, honestly. It's like,
at least you admit it. I mean, I admit it too.
It's so annoying, and I know people get annoyed, and I'm just like, okay, and like seriously, I've learned to like I have to let things go sometimes. I just can't. Like I'm just like, okay, I can't do that. Like let me turn my focus back. Like I'm not doing that. I'm doing this. So I need to dig into this, not that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me an example. I'm curious.
An example of like
when people go get it. People are getting annoyed. Like, people get annoyed by something.
Nobody's ever said that. But.
Okay. Because sometimes I get a little fixated. I'll get very fixated on things.
Yeah.
And then like I get annoyed when people can't appreciate something like I do, and I have to learn to dial it back. Like I'll give you an example. Like when I was asking for an example. Here's my example, and maybe you can relate.
Okay.
So, like, if I'm watching a movie, whether it's a movie I've watched already or it's something that I haven't seen, but I'm interested, I really want people to appreciate the movie the same way I'm appreciating it.
Yeah.
And I get really pissed off if, like, people are talking, and I'm like, yo,
you're missing it.
You're missing it. Like, or they ask questions, and I'm like, yeah, but you're missing it. Like, this is... Like, but did you see what happened?
Right.
I'm the same way with music. I'm the same way with like books. And then there's times where like with my kids, especially my two oldest, I'm like, yo, you don't understand. Like this is a great story. And they're like, I'm like, yeah, but, and I'm like, yeah, there's this goes back to when I was a kid, and I realized there's things about me that's a little different than all the other kids in my class. I like dissecting, looking into things. I'll ponder about something after I've watched it or read it. Like maybe even this interview, like I'll sit and I'll vibe. I'll be at work and I'll be like, man, that was a really dope. I'll probably Google the Greek god Pan. You know, like I'll start. So I bring that up because I got that same vibe from you, and I wasn't sure if that's it is okay.
For me, it's a little different. It's more like when people come to me with a problem or something, you know, and they're venting, you know, and I'm digging. I'm gonna go straight, you know, to the bottom, you know, go to the root. Okay, like, let's go to you want to fix the problem, got to go to the root of the problem. Let's dig. I'm gonna start asking questions, like uncomfortable questions.
Yeah.
And sometimes people get off topic. I'm like, all right, but this is what I asked you. This is the question was. So that I feel like a lot of people kind of get frustrated, I guess, because it's, you know, stuff that people don't really want to dig into yet. Yeah. And that's fine. Yeah. But don't cut. I'm not the right one.
They want a quick fix.
Yeah, nah.
A suggestion that's a quick fix.
Yeah.
And you're like,
or somebody just sit and listen. I ain't it.
Yeah. Like I might have to tell you that you're coming at your face and you don't want to hear it, but yeah. And you know, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm in that part for myself, you know, of the digging deep and asking myself those difficult questions and digging into myself. So I can't be that person that's just gonna sit there and be quiet no more. Yeah. How's that experience digging into yourself? Because I know I've done it. I'm still doing it, and it's very difficult.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Isn't it liberating though? Also.
Yeah. That's why I keep doing it. Yeah. That's why I haven't stopped. Because the changes I've seen so in such a short time, for real, like I'm a totally different person now than I was a couple years ago. Yeah. And all it took was me, you know, just kind of, you know, self-healing, self-parenting. Yeah. Becoming the person I want to be, you know, doing the hard work, a lot of crying. Yeah. A lot of anger. Sure. You know. But it's a beautiful transition. Yeah, it's
I like to use the phrase. Sometimes I used it with my family recently. We were just all together, probably this Thanksgiving, and we were talking about something that was really sad. I think it was prayer. Forgive me. Damn, prayer isn't always sad, but I mean, we were all like praying and crying.
Yeah, right.
And I just wanted to tell everybody, like, the good and the bad, like, what a time to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of all the, like, we're lucky enough to be here. And that puts up, and I know you can understand what I'm saying because of the experience that you just shared with me, that when you're at this point and you're like, wow, but I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
Like I almost didn't see that because I almost took it away from myself.
Right.
But what a time to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried telling that to my kids, and I tried telling that to my family. It sucks right now, and I don't even want to hear it because I'm angry. But man, we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for whatever reason, we were all brought here at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Generations from now, our family may not know who we are. They'll just hear stories.
Right.
But what a time to be alive now. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started saying that I'm just grateful a lot. I've been saying that a lot lately. When people ask me how I'm doing, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
That's all I got, for real. I feel like people who haven't experienced being close to death, you know, they don't really think about it like that, just being here,
Yeah.
what that means, but like you're with your experience and my experience, you know what it's like to be at that point in your brain where it's just like, okay, I can just end it now.
Yeah.
Just being that close to death is something that people don't think about until there's a funeral.
Yeah.
And then they're not even really thinking about that could be them, or that being them. We don't really talk about it, as a society, a culture, or whatever. It's not really talked about or accepted.
No, and there's no empathy.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, I'm sympathetic because I've experienced it. And so it's always been like something that I take I get really annoyed. It actually angers me because there's the cliche, like, oh, you're selfish if you do something like that. I'm like, do you know how far someone's got to be gone to really believe that they're better off, that their family's better off? Like, that's somewhere that you clearly don't have any idea. Like, congratulations that you haven't hit that. But someone's got to be at that lowest of low to genuinely believe, like, well, my kids are better off without me. And that's where I was at. So I'm always like, whenever I hear a story like that, or it's too late and you hear the story afterwards and you're like, oh wow,
yeah, like
my heart breaks because it's like, oh, somebody just needed to listen.
Yeah.
And so I take it that you can definitely understand my point in that. It's really annoying.
And the thing was, I had people that listened. I had people to listen to me. I had, family, friends. I was married. And happy. Yeah. I had everything: the house, the kids, family, the support. I needed to listen to me. I wasn't listening to myself, and I felt like that's where I was getting messed up, because I stopped listening to my intuition, or whatever you want to call it. I stopped listening to what made me me, and I wasn't myself. I was doing stuff that everybody else wanted me to do.
Okay.
And that's why I got so bad.
So you were already aware. You were aware that you needed advice, help, someone to talk to. You had it, and you still made decisions that went against that. Is that
right?
Is that what? Okay.
Right. Yeah. Like, I had the counseling, I had the support, the family, and everything, and I still didn't feel better. It didn't matter to me. I still didn't feel like, I still felt like something was off.
Yeah.
And then once I started, making the changes in my life that I wanted to make, becoming the person that I wanted to be, then, people had problems.
Oh, really?
People that I was, as family that I was, pleasing, people pleasing.
Gotcha.
That's kind of who I was, growing up. I was a people pleaser, and I was a really quiet, and You know, I just listened all the time. People always vented to me. I never had anything to say.
Gotcha.
And I did what people wanted me to do. And I went with it, you know, just to kind of feel accepted, you know, going along, you know, and it builds up. It builds up.
Yeah.
It built up on me a lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So whenever somebody says that, you know, that you needed the support, somebody to talk to, you know, I'm just like, that was a big thing to me. Like I had all that.
Yeah.
And it was the only thing that I needed was to look within, you know, and to.
That's a good point then. Yeah.
Yeah. I had to, once I started like writing more and be able to like kind of get that out, get those feelings out. It became more clear to me the type of person that I wanted to be and who I wanted to become.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stigma of talking about the negative stigma of, I guess stigma is negative. I don't know why I said that, but the stigma of talking about your feelings. And I've discussed this before in other interviews that I've done, like in my parents' generation, it was taboo. We don't talk about shit like that. You know what I mean? So we grew up where it was like, if you're going to address your feelings, let it be this one time because I don't want to keep hearing it. You know what I mean? And it's like we laugh now, but there are like mental repercussions where it's like, no, I'm not going to be that person. So, you know, and so you neglect yourself. And so like, that's what I'm getting from you is, and I know what that is, but where it's like, I had signs in my life that I look back now and I was like, yep. Red flag, red flag, red flag. But I was just pushing along, doing what I thought was asked, but I needed to do, make people happy, and I neglected myself. We briefly, and if you're comfortable, I'd like to, but if you don't, that's cool. We briefly talked about your children. You have 2 little girls. Yes. So can we talk about motherhood? Can we talk? Yeah. So tell me, you don't have to mention their names, but I mean, how does this being a mother affect the music and the writing that you write, that you make?
Well, you know, like I said, music and writing, I mean, it's kind of my thing, you know, separate. Like I am a mom first, you know, I'm a homeschool, you know.
Wow. Yeah. Kudos to you. I did. That's a lot. Yo, that is a lot. I have a sister that did that and I was like, wow, that's a lot of work. So props to you.
It's a journey. It's a journey.
Is that something that you've always done, or did you start that during the pandemic or what?
Oh no, I knew I was gonna homeschool.
Got you.
Yeah, when they were babies. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. I always put them first. Everything I do is you know, around them, around their schedule, you know. I just feel like it is what it is, you know. That's, to me, you know, that it just is what it is. But when most of my music, my poetry don't got nothing to do with them.
Copy.
Because that's my thing. You know, that's
absolutely.
Like I was saying before, like this is the thing, this is what's keeping me here, you know. And so and I needed something just for me.
Gotcha.
Everything else is them. You know what I mean? And they get it. They got it, you know. So yeah, it's really me. I really don't have much. I don't have.
No, I love it.
Poems or songs about them, really. I'm actually working on a collab right now with a singer who wants to do a song kind of like that, you know, about motherhood. So this will be like my first type of like mom song, you know. The first time, really.
But I can appreciate the authenticity there, because, and that's what I'm spoiling myself with what I want to do. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's like pouring into your own cup so that you can pour out. And you're not pouring out, really, you're overflowing.
I never knew that though. You know what I mean?
I didn't either.
It was always like, I always thought the admirable proper thing to do was like, my children come first, and in a way they are, but you're giving yourself, like you just said, they get everything else. It's this small little door that you open up every now and then, and you step inside that room. It's just for you, and that's okay. Yeah, it
is. It's
I like
very
it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. Well, I would think then that your music then would be different. If your children were influencing the content you were writing, you wouldn't probably be who you are as the artist that you are right now.
Right. Yeah. It wouldn't be me, really. Yeah.
I appreciated when we were talking on the phone. You were like, I got to get my girls to bed, and it was just like, I'm at that point in my life where I'm like, yeah, no, I know that life. So I always appreciate that as a mother with children, and the work that you're doing as an artist, the finding a sitter, the hustle there, the grind. It's not easy. So as much as you're giving yourself that door, it's not easy to find time to go in. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So can we talk about that for a little bit?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I've been dealing with, for some reason, the whole industry thing and the social media, how everybody else is doing, their thing. You're supposed to keep up content and always pushing. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to do it my way because I don't got time. I don't got time for that. And whatever happens, happens. And I mean, that's the way I've been doing it. And I gotten this far, and I don't plan on changing that.
Yeah. It's not easy.
It's not. It's way too much pressure. And anytime I feel like I'm being taken out of why I started doing it in the first place, for a reason to live, anytime I feel like it's taking me to that mindset where I don't like it.
Yeah.
Or I don't feel like it's giving me that, that reason, I'll stop.
There you go.
I'll stop. I don't pressure myself to put anything out. I barely post. And I do still feel a little, shameful, I guess, that I'm not doing the things that all the other artists are doing, I'm not pushing anything. I'm not posting every day.
It's a give and take.
Yeah.
Because one day you're feeling like, I can't do it. I'm the hell with it. And then you're like you just said, you feel like guilty where you're like, fuck, I probably should have posted the 10 things that they tell you to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because the algorithm changes.
Man, I don't even want to talk about I don't even talk about algorithms. I don't want to talk about, I can't even say what? No.
Algorithm. I'm researching this shit.
It's always something. And I'm just like, okay, y'all go ahead. I'm going to just do me.
Yeah.
Just do me.
Yeah.
Because I can't keep up. And it's also pretty much like goes against the image that I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost it's ironic that, and there's nothing wrong with it because a platform is a platform. And if you're going to speak your truth on the soapbox, then who gives a fuck where it's at? But it is also like, okay, I'm going to use social media to express my inner peace and truth and how I want to avoid this, that, and the third. That really social media at times harbors the negativity, the frustration, the toxic information, if you will. So there's a juggling act, I'm sure, for you where it's like, I like having this platform, but fuck, because I admit it, I scroll on my phone and my wife gets frustrated with me. So it's like, I'm posting shit that I'm posting, and then I'm getting caught up in like, what's the world doing?
And then it's an hour later.
Yeah. And so then everything that you're talking about in your music, that focus is no longer there for you if you do get wrapped up in that. So I'm assuming it's a juggling act for you in regards to using a platform like social media. Yeah.
Well, the way I think about it, I have to stay sane. I gotta stay sane. Like I got everything that all the thoughts that seem negative that come in, I gotta find the positive. Like yin yang. I gotta find that white dot.
Yeah.
So, the way I see it is, backwards is the new forward.
There you go. Yeah, I like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't expect, the way the world that I would love to see to be, where it is tomorrow. You know, I understand that we've gotten to where we are now over years and years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
So I keep telling myself all I can do is just go a step backward.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Do you disconnect from technology and zone out in your world sometimes, or no?
Oh yeah, I got to. Yeah. I mean, you know, I'll just leave my phone in my room sometimes, and you know, do whatever. And I mean, I don't really watch TV much.
Okay.
We actually just got a little. My grandma gave me a little TV, and it's just for DVDs only.
There you go.
So I don't need. You just got like DVDs of watching like old Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
And, like Avatar, Last Airbender. We binge watched that season. Harry Potter. You know, just random stuff. Me and my kids watching all these DVDs.
There you
know.
go. There you go.
And I feel like that in itself is a step backwards. You know, no microwave. Just simplicity.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, you know, just simplify.
Do you enjoy that?
I do.
Yeah.
It's comforting to me. It is.
That goes back to the liberating comment that I made before. It was just like, I don't gotta worry about shit. This is easy. This is simple.
Yeah.
I'm a simple man, so I understand. Where there's times where I'm just like, I couldn't stay in a cabin because I don't know if I could do it, but I do like the simplicity of. I ain't gotta worry about shit. This is I'm in my own world.
Right.
So yeah,
see,
I
man,
dig it.
That's like goals for me. Like,
a cabin.
I want the land.
The land,
and I want me a little hut.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I want to, you know, grow my own food.
There you go.
Yes, I want to be really, you know, self-sufficient and just simple life.
Connected with nature. Are you into that?
Yeah.
Feet in the soil type shit. Yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah. Me and my kids, we love going hiking and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And, walking barefoot in the creek and all types of stuff. I'm really into herbs, you know, and tea, like herbal teas. And,
natural shit.
Yeah, natural medicine. Yeah. So, I'm a baby in it right now,
but
learning and growing. Yeah, I love it. I
would have at one point in my life really, I wish I would have dabbled in that more because I like the idea of it. I will say one of the things that I'm proud of that I've gotten into is I've gotten a bit of a green thumb. So like right now I'm jonesing to get out there and get shit ready outside and get my plants ready and get, you know, like, and my wife and I enjoy that. And so I've been taking like the last couple years, I don't know what it is, but it's just like, that's just been like my happy place. And I remember when I was in my dark time, I never got excited when the spring and summer came, but I knew I was always sad and depressed during the winter. But to me, it was just like the sun. Like I don't want to be in the sun, and I still don't. I'm not really crazy about it, but now it's just like I can't wait. I can't wait, and so I'm chosen. So I'm curious. Are you the same way, or with what you just mentioned? You know, the herbs, the hiking, the natural shit. You Jones for that type of. That's your vibe.
Yeah.
That's your
Oh yeah. I'm starting to, you know, plan my life more around the seasons and, you know, stuff. And it's hard because, you know, our world is just constant.
Sure.
But just like with my performances, like I decided to take off the winter and fall months. And so now I'm only performing April through September.
Okay.
So that was a big change for me. And it feels good, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like the fall and winter months should be more restful.
Yeah.
You know, it makes sense, you know. And even, you know, the moon cycle, you know.
You pay attention to that shit?
Yeah. Especially as a woman, you know.
Yeah.
It's just it makes a difference. It does. And I can it's better understand my body, better understand myself by researching natural things.
Yeah.
and it's only natural for us to get excited for spring and to be interested in plants because they're kin, you know.
Absolutely.
So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful
I even
thing.
talk to my plants.
Yeah.
Like I believe in that. I believe in the frequency, the energy, and I'll listen to NPR and I'll listen to stories of like what plants do.
Yeah.
Like and it just like blows me away. So like my father passed away at the end of December and we were sent this by family.
Oh, okay.
And so I put this in the pot because we had something else in there and it died. So I saved the pot. So I got the perfect pot for it. And then my wife's like, that's I can't remember the name of it now. Damn it.
I'm horrible with names.
Something lily or it's a sad lily or something.
Okay.
Or weeping. So I can't remember now. Someone's laughing at me, but she's like, all you gotta do is just keep it watered. It can thrive on it. It doesn't need a lot of sunlight. It just, and you're usually gifted these for like sympathy. So I put water in every now and then. I talk to her and I check the leaf and I'm like, if you would have told me I was doing this when I was 18 years old, I would have laughed. But it's like funny how the older you get, the more in tune with, and I feel like for me, it's because when I was younger, 30 and 40 years was forever from now. And now I'm 44 and I'm like, I don't got a lot of time left on this earth. Like, God willing, I got another, 40 years.
Yeah.
But everything now is in a smaller vacuum. So it means just a little bit more to me.
Yeah.
And so I'm starting to like really take in, you know what I mean? Do you do the same thing?
More. Yeah. Well, I'll be 31 next month.
So you are a baby. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was saying. Like, I'm just starting to feel that way, you know?
But that's cool. At 31, you're feeling that way. So you got a great life ahead of you already, like thinking like that. I wasn't thinking like that at 31.
And I've been told that before, but I don't know, I still feel like everybody else, you know, whether it took longer for you or not, it's still, same to me.
Yeah.
Still feels the same. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I got so terrified when I was suicidal. I was desperate, desperate for something.
Yeah.
So desperate to figure something out, about myself. And once I started, getting into it, it really started with my diet. Yeah. And starting to eat different. The food, when I started researching, food and it's deep. Yeah. So that's what really got me into the whole lifestyle now. Gotcha. Just getting more into nature and the elements, researching about the elements and try to understand my own emotions, and the way they work and why, you know. It helped a lot with my healing process. Word. Yeah.
Considering everything we just talked about, and a lot about your music, a lot about the hardship that life brought to your front door, so to speak. Music aside, and writing aside, is there anything that you like to do to just chill? Or is it always just going to be writing and music for you?
No, I like to have fun and do, I like to go out. I like to hang with my friends, I like doing sports stuff,
Oh yeah?
I like playing soccer.
Okay, you play soccer?
Yeah, I mean, I don't play. I wouldn't say I play, but I actually played my senior year in high school. Okay. So I played 1 year. Okay. For real.
That's more than me.
And then, okay.
There you go.
So I got that. And then after that, I'll just, I got a ball, and I'll just mess around with it. I'd like try to practice tricks and stuff. And I play with my kids. Gotcha. They like it. I like doing a whole bunch of stuff, You
like being active?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Cool.
Yeah, I'll do anything. Yeah. Jet skiing, don't even know. Bowling. Yeah. Like.
See, I like the thought of being active, and then I realized that I can't.
Okay.
Because I'm too big. I know that, but like I was probably like in my mid 30s, and I was like approached by some friends who were like, you want to join a rec league playing basketball? And I used to play basketball when I was younger, and I thought I was good. And then I realized that I'm not, right? So I went and I joined this rec league, and like 5 minutes in, I'm like, wow, this is not, I can't do it. And so for like 5-6 hours after the game, I was having a hard time breathing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was sitting on my living room, like, so I went to the doctor the next day or whatever. I scheduled an appointment, and the doctor's like, yeah, you got exercise-induced asthma. I was like, what the hell is that? It sounds like you just said you're fat. That's what I felt. Exercise-induced asthma just means I'm out of shape.
Dang.
And so when you say you're active, I bring that up because like I like the thought of being active when I try. And my wife's active. She goes for walks, and I try to go with her. I guess this goes back to like the mindset thing. Like sometimes you just got to change the way you approach things that bother you. So I'm not a big fan of walking, but I always end up enjoying it when I'm done. I'm like, it was nice, and I should do it more often. But I come home from work and like, I don't want to do shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So props to you, staying active, and much props to you for divulging and sharing a lot about yourself, and also just taking it upon yourself to do the research for what you're eating and what you're consuming not only through food, but like media, and what you're reading and what you're putting into your mental, as they say, because words have power, thoughts have power.
Right.
What's the game plan for Pan? Where are we going? What do you, when 5 years from now, what do you see yourself doing? Is it more like you want to continue doing what you're doing, or do you have more scope of a bigger plan?
I mean, the plan is always to take over the world, you know?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, whether it's tomorrow or 5 years.
Yeah.
You know? A plan.
Yeah. Man makes plans, God laughs is the saying.
Right, a plan, you know. I wouldn't call it a plan.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty much more what was given to me.
Gotcha.
You know, the vision I was given. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I mean, I feel it. 5 years from now, I'm still gonna be homeschooling. You know, I know that for sure. I don't even know that for sure. I mean, the way the world looks now,
I know.
We could just be, you know,
we could all be homeschooling.
We could hello.
Sheesh.
Or
I'm gonna have to hit you up for some tips.
It probably wouldn't even be homeschooling. You know, it probably wouldn't even matter.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
In an apocalypse type of situation, ain't nobody worried about no homeschool paperwork.
No.
Ain't nobody worried about how many maths you got.
It's gonna be Mad Max out here. We're gonna be driving around in Jeeps. We're gonna throw our 4-year-old in the backs and
right, no car seat.
Have no car seat.
Yeah, no cops. Yeah, so that's.
It got pretty dark.
That's my brain all day, every day. Help. That's why my stuff be the way it is, because this is me. You know, that's where I'm at with it.
There you go.
I don't know.
So the game plan, if you don't want to call it a plan, the vision, you want to keep pursuing the vision.
Yeah, the vision is land.
Yeah,
and
I like it.
Yeah, the vision is land, and
anywhere specific, or are you just open to wherever?
Anywhere, everywhere.
Yeah. All
places.
Oh, there you go. So we're talking about multiple spots. It's land. I like it.
I mean, if you touch in the world, you need a space all around.
Fair enough.
I don't know. That's just the way I was thinking.
Can't be doing Airbnbs all the time. And eventually, you got to get your own. Yeah.
Why not just have land all over the world?
I like it.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that would be dope. Yeah.
So that's the vision: land, performing, touring.
Yeah.
You see all that, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, that would be dope. You know, if you just buy some land, have a big old festival.
There you go.
Big old music festival on my land.
Like a Coachella at
Yeah,
Pans.
bring your tents.
There you go. I like it.
See
what we just did there?
You feel me?
I don't want any royalty. That's all you.
What?
I don't want nothing. That's all Pan.
You can do a live podcast at the festival.
Okay, well now you intrigued me.
There you go.
Okay, well, Jasmine Taylor, Pan, thank you very much. This is your first podcast. Yes. You did good.
Thanks.
I'm grateful. One of the things I'm appreciating, and I am grateful because I know it's not easy, but I'm just been blessed but people like yourself who don't know me, and I hit them up and I'm like, hey, and you were down. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. I can't wait to share your story.
Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You have no idea.
Absolutely.
This was a great experience.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, just like that. Once again, we are moving on. But before we do that, Jasmine, thank you so much for stopping by on the Journeyman Chronicles, for lending us your journey and being an official member of the JMC Alumni Squad. I hope you enjoyed this interview when you see it, when you listen to it. I wish you nothing but success, because self-health, mental health, believing in yourself, trying to heal yourself, take care of yourself, that shit's important. And I commend you for taking the steps that you have taken to succeed in that. And when it comes to your music, I wish you nothing but success with that as well. You have a gift. Keep speaking your truth. Listen, for everybody else, hope you enjoyed it, but I gotta go. I gotta take care of things. I gotta go prepare for next week's episode so we can do this all over again. Until then, please take care of yourself, believe in yourself, and remember to maintain focus and stay continuous through all 4 seasons. My name is Felix C. Arroyo, and these are the Journeyman Chronicles. Y'all be safe.